Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Wolff. I work with Concord Home Mortgage, and I've worked with Steve over here for probably good 10 years now, almost 10 years. So today we came here to talk about a new program that just came out, and it's called Buy Now and Sell Later. As many of you have guessed, this has been an interesting time in our industry as far as there's a lot of new programs coming out to help people purchase homes. And this program is kind of unique because, as the name says, you can actually buy a home before you actually sell your existing home. And I brought in Brian Rabbits. He is one of our account representatives and knows this program inside and out. He's going to tell us a little bit more about how everything works.
Tom, I appreciate that. The program is new in the sense that it's available on the East Coast new. This is about the house you're selling. We're going to get you into your new home. You've been trying to win a bid for 6, 9, 12 months. Every time you mention the word contingency, all the wheels fly off, you're out, some guy walks in without the contingencies and you got a home. Guess what? We're going to make that go. It's a cool program. So Tom, let's take a look at the Bible for yourself.
Sorry, Brian, I'm trying to get this to you. There it is.
So we're solving a problem that more than half of your clients face when buying a new home. 56% of repeat buyers use funds from the departing residents for their down payment. You now have access to a modern bridge solution needed to move forward on your client's new purchase. So there's going to be 3 main advantages to this program that your clients are just going to absolutely love. That is, first, buy the pending sale. Save clients money by removing their pending sale contingency before they submit their offer. You're going to help the clients purchase first by removing the client's departing residence mortgage liability. You're going to get rid of the pity on that house that they already own. So you got rid of the contingency. You're going to actually get rid of the pity, which does what? Allows you to buy more house.
Brian,
What we need right now.
what's the pay? Explain.
PITI, your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, the payment on that home is going to be eliminated on the home that you own. Is going to be eliminated from your new home mortgage that you're purchasing. Give you the ability to buy more house. A 0% interest bridge loan for a down payment. So the equity unlock, which is a key to this, gives the client access to 75% CLTV of their departing residence. I'm going to do this. It's 75, up to 75. It's not 80. It's going to be up to 75%. So let's go over a transaction, shall we? Step 1: your departing residence approval. Your expected sales price is $500,000. Now we're going to do an AVM on this property, and we're going to an automated valuation model. We're going to basically it's going to be comp search, right? You're going to do comps, and we're going to find the value. We're not going to do an appraisal. No appraisal. Right? So you're going to do an AVM. We're going to be utilizing also your expertise along the way. Your expertise is going to come into this. So the mortgage balance that you currently own is $250,000. 75% of $500,000 is $375,000. So 375 minus the 250 comes out to 125. Everybody got that math? So we're going to go 75% CLTV. Yo, half. That's 50%, right? So 25% is going to be unlocked in this particular example. So you're going to end up with $125,000 as a bridge loan. We're going to be able to utilize the house. Here's the thing about owning a home. Real estate or your home is not an asset. It is a liability. You have to pay money every month to live there, just to keep the doors open so your kids can go home and get washed after their game. You have to pay money. When is the only time a home an asset? The day you sell it. Well, in this case, you want to buy another home. You already have this house. You can't get any money out of it. unless somebody provides a bridge loan for you. I had a good spiel going.
Yeah.
I was cruising along.
You're on the roll, you're on the roll, yeah.
By the way, I'm not trying to poo-poo real estate. I have much real estate myself. I love it. But your key is you gotta be able to, nobody ever, I can't go to Wawa and say, you know what? I want a brownie. My house is worth 800 grand. I only owe 400. You give it to me? You gotta have cash. We're gonna make that available. Shop contingency free. The client now shops for a home with a contingency free offer and a 0% interest bridge loan in their pocket. It's not only 0% interest free, there's no payment on that bridge loan. So you're going to be able to win that bid. So you've been shopping for a home for 6, 9, 12 months. Frustration, you're giving up, but you want to move. I don't care what anybody says about the 2% rate you got in your house, whatever. The wife looks around the house and goes, I need more rooms. We want to move. I want to move. No matter how good you have, people want to move. So it's the great thing is we're going to give them the contingency free offer. They get in that bigger house because we got rid of the penny. We got rid of the payment on the old house. More home. Going to win contingency. You're going to get in the house. So now you closed. You actually won a bid. The heavens open up. The angels are singing. The horns, the whole 9 yards. Woo! We won a bid. Oh my God, it's great. So now we're in the house. Tom, we're actually in, remember this part. We're actually in the home.
So I don't have to run it back, right?
Dude, you got the house, the one that you wanted. By the way, you still have the other house. Okay, you still have the other house. You're gonna close on the new home. Your new purchase is 600 grand. I'm glad they didn't do something like $1.2 million or something like that, right? It's in San Francisco to get numbers right. 600 grand. You're gonna use the down payment, you're gonna use for the down payment, your equity unlock, your bridge loan. 125 grand, your new mortgage is gonna be 425. Here's the interesting part. Then we're gonna sell this house. You're gonna take the difference. You're gonna use that, and you're gonna do a
recast.
A recast. You know, I do this for a living.
I know I had it.
I worked for a service. You figure I know that word. You're gonna do a recast. You're still gonna be able to get that down a little bit because remember, you're still got this asset. Oh, it's an asset now. Went from a liability to an asset. We're selling it. How are we selling it? You're gonna sell it at full market value. This is the real estate guys coming. This is the cool part. List the home and sell at full market value within our 90-day program period. The transaction fee is going to be 2.4% of the fair market sales value of your property. That's some math going here, right? Everybody's going, all right, 2.4%, 500 grand, that comes up to $12,000 on a $500,000 home. Woo, that's some money. I don't know. Where are you living now?
Still in my old house that I want to get rid of.
But we bought the new home. You're living in the new house. You're not in the old house. That's going to be somebody else's soon. We got you out of there. We untapped it. Now we're gonna list the property and we're gonna list it. You guys are gonna keep it going. This is gonna be with you guys. We don't have Home Point and Home Light does not have our own set of realtors. At no point are we gonna take this away from you. Does that remind you of another program out there that kind of does that? If you get to a certain point, they all of a sudden they have their own group of people and they sell it? No, not here. That's not what we do. We keep the relationships going. This is about you guys. So what happens is HomeLight is going to guarantee as a backup offer to buy the home. Fannie Mae and Freddie, their rule, and by the way, goes to our jumbos also. The loan is going to be done through the loan store. By the way, we're really freaking good. I should know that. Prices are awesome. Super. These guys can work with them. Close loans are awesome. So they're going to sell the house. So Fannie Mae and Freddie have a rule that when you buy the new home, where are you living? You're living in that new house. So you settle on the new home. From the day you settle, you have 90 days to be under contract or sell the house. That's the rule. That's how I got rid of the pity. That's how I got rid of the contingency. That was the rule that nobody else wants to utilize because it can cost you some money, right? So what ends up happening is that they will do a backup offer. If you do not get that house under contract or sold within 90 days after you are
In your
in your new home, right? You're in your house. We did the hard part. You're in. Now we're gonna sell it. You're gonna sell it. You sell the property. But you don't, so say, and remember, I'm gonna tell you a statistic. Home Light has only purchased one house. In thousands of transactions, one. That property turned over in a week. But one. So if you're a betting man, and then somebody tells you one thing happened versus thousands, would you take that bet? You'd be a fool not to. It's a good bet. So we're gonna list that property, we're gonna get it sold, under contract to sale within 90 days. Doesn't sell. Something happened. That one happened. Now it's 2 out of thousands. They're gonna guarantee to buy the house as a backup offer. They'll buy it for, there's some numbers here, my set aside, a little different. It has a 375, right? So the 250 plus 125, you owe 375 against that house right now, right? That's 75%. Remember 75% CLTV? So you're gonna sell that. So now we're gonna buy that property as a backup offer for 375. We're gonna clear the liens. That's a bad deal, right? Your client just got screwed out of their money. Except we are gonna have and contractual, this is contractual, that they will now sell the property. They will now sell the property, you might want to go back on. You're gonna sell the property at full market value. So this 2.4% that they wanted that to come out of the full market value of the property. They don't want it on 75%. We don't. So we're gonna buy the property 375, and then we're gonna relist it with you. Transactions. What do you think? We're not betting on that. We don't want to do that. It just happened that way. But what we're not doing is we're not taking it away from you.
So Brian, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
You guys might be thinking, so when you buy the house at 375, they get a real estate commission on that?
They do.
And then they get another one.
It's a
when you sell
contract.
again?
It's a house sale. You get
So they're-
paid.
So they're selling it twice?
They're selling it twice. We don't want to do that. Obviously, we're doing what's best for the client, but in this case, we had to. We had to buy that. We had to make sure Fannie and Freddie and our jumbo guys were good, right? So we took care of the 90-day contingency thing that they had. We were able to sell it. We now own this property. We're gonna list it through you guys again. You're gonna sell it for full market value, because you know that was an anomaly. Something happened, right? Who knows? Somebody died or whatever. These things happen, right? The dog died and they lost their marbles. My wife, my dog died. Remember this, Jim? My wife,
do remember.
she went off her.
She went a little
off her cliff.
crazy.
If I was selling a house, I'd never, so those kind of things happen. So so say we sell for 520, right? Because that's what happens in this market. So they sell it. Remember, you owe the 375. There's some carrying costs in here, but we're gonna allow you to net out the difference and give it back to the client, who's then gonna take and put a recast on there, and they're gonna get their money back. Your client does not take it in the shin on this, ever.
What's the, I'm sorry, can you explain the recast part?
Well, recasting, again, is the servicer will allow you to take when you say you're selling your home in reverse like this, right?
Yeah.
They'll allow you to go and take a chunk of money and put it against your existing mortgage, reducing the balance, reducing the payments.
Without refinancing?
Without refinancing.
With the same
The
term.
cost is like $350.
They just reduced the payment to match what, on that balance.
They're restructuring your principal.
They're allowing you to
Same
benefit
industry.
in reverse. You're basically getting the loan you should have had in the beginning if you would have sold the home in front. So they're gonna allow it. It's a one-time thing that they allow to occur. So we're going to get, so now we talk about 2.4 transaction fee, because again, they sold the house, they sold it at fair market value. And remember, everybody go, oh, 375, and they're gonna fire sale this house, right? That's not what you think. You're gonna get rid of this thing quick. Greed is a wonderful thing. What was it from Wall Street? Greed is right, greed works, whatever that line was. 2.4%, they want out of the fair market sales value. They don't want it out of the 75%. They're going to sell it for as much as they can, because they're only going to make that transaction once. Remember, you can sell it twice. We only want the transaction once, and it's going to be on the fair market sale. You got that? So again, now 2.4%. Let's discuss 2.4%. You want to get a bridge loan? Bridge loan's going to cost what? 2-3% on the big on that, right? It costs money to get a bridge loan. You couldn't tap into the property, so you missed out on your bids, you lost your home. Where you living?
New house.
So I've got realized value, 2.4%. How much is your house over the last 24, 30 months? How much has it gone up in value?
It's probably 34%.
But some 25, 30, 35%, it's gone up over the last one. That's a paper gain, guys. Back to a liability versus an asset. We're gonna allow you to realize that. So you're gonna have your house that's gone on paper, gone up 25% over the last 24 to 30 months. We're gonna tap into that paper gain. We're gonna make it an actual realized value. We're gonna give you a bridge loan based upon that paper gain, and we're going to charge you 2.4%, which comes up to what, 10, 15% of that paper gain? That's a bargain. We got you in your new house. That is a tremendous value and a lot of risk on the lender's part to free all that up and get you in your new house. We won the freaking bid. It's beautiful. So the way this transaction works is Tom's going to get on the computer, answer a couple of questions, and they're going to turn it over to the realtor. Realtor's involved in this. This is the best part, is that Tom's relationships are what matter here. Tom's relationships. I got a relationship with him. It's his relationships that matter. Tom is going to get on the line. He's going to answer a couple of questions, mortgage, balance, credit score, stuff about the client. Then they're going to turn it over to you, and you're going to answer some stuff about the house. And that's what we care about. This is basically an equity-based transaction. We have we know how good the client is, because remember, they're going to get a house, right? They're going to win a bid, and they're going to get a mortgage on it already. We already know we have a viable client because they got a mortgage. We're not worried about that. All we're worried about is the property. So they're going to get online. They're going to ask you a questionnaire about the expected sales price, listing information, stuff like that. You know, realty stuff. Then they're going to ask you for property photos. Most likely, this property is listed, but if it's not already, you're going to go out and get some. You're going to get some photos, like you would a listing. Submit it to them. And there's a fourth item that's not shown on here. There's going to be a home inspection. Remember, there's no appraisal. But the only person I have somebody that's going to validate. First of all, the pictures are real, right? Yeah, that's never happened before. People take pictures of their house. It's never happened, right? No, they want to make sure it's real. They want to make sure that the walls aren't Swiss cheese. You know, stuff like that, right? So there's going to be a home inspection. Home inspection is going to be paid by Home Light in the beginning and then reimbursed on the CD later. And it's no money out of their pocket in that part. It's all sounding too good to be true, right? This thing works. So then the home inspector is going to go out and do his thing. Why is Tom calling this a new product? Because it's new to you. Not available to you before, it's new to you, right? It's been available in Argentina, Venezuela, and some parts of Romania. Doesn't do you any good, right? Now, we have a product that's available. The reason why, I've had this product since my old employer. Home Point had, with Home Light, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. Now remember, this is about the property you're selling. Unless somebody had their dog eaten by an alligator in Florida, they're not moving up this way. That's usually the way it works. I got to go back up and see my cancer doctor, or my dog got eaten. That's the only time it ever happens. So what was the point of my selling this thing to anybody? This becomes available. And by the way, and I like this slide because it's not even complete. So that was Home Light. Home Light's our partner. They were licensed across the South and the West. The rest of the blue, which is availability for the house you're selling, is my company's footprint, because now we're footing the bill for the bridge loan. Go by that bridge loan. So now we're going to take it. So we've added all this in, and right now, if you're looking at this map, Oklahoma is now filled in, Nebraska, Utah, Nevada, Texas just recently. I live in Newark, Delaware, and everybody's seen the money. Everybody's seen the money pit. You're realtors. It's like Caddyshack for golfer, right? When is Delaware's license going to be ready for you? What's the answer in that movie? 2 weeks. I've had that freaking thing in there since April. We're just waiting for Delaware to move. There's 2 ladies down there, and they're in no hurry. So again, Delaware will be any minute now. It's going to be New York, Virginia, basically in Massachusetts are the toughest states to get a license in. It's brutal. But we're figuring we'll have everything except for New York by the end of Michigan's also filled it. So again, this is where people are coming from. And people do leave Michigan for our state, so that's a wonderful thing. New Jersey, and everything's pretty much. Did I say that out loud? That's for some of my people. That was terrible. Next slide. So you want to know, all right, so there's always caveats, right? So what kind of property are we going to be interested in doing that backup offer? The home has to be worth between 250 and 2.5 million. Find me a slide that has the right number. It was 3 million.
Because I actually spoke to them yesterday, and they're willing to make exceptions on this to go down to 200,000. So
I learned stuff. He asked questions, these guys. I'm good at reading. So I learned from Tom every day about my product. So I'm telling you, that's what you got. He dives in, he knows his stuff. 250 to 2.5 million. It used to be 3 million, but who cares? You start getting $3 million properties, let me know. Square footage has to be at least 750 square foot. At least one bed and bath you have to have. If you have any liens on the home from solar financing, the lien must be fully paid. In other words, paid up to date. We're not going to make you pay off. It's standard solar logic, okay? Not occupied by tenants during or after the purchase. Tenants is different than owners. We're not talking about your clients living in the house. We're talking about them having renters in there. No leasehold, not standing life estates. Trust will need a trust agreement to review before appraisal. You know, loan stuff. No VA or FHA financing on the incoming residence. The house you're buying has to be financed through conventional or jumbo. It's about that pity. It's about that debt ratio. It's about getting rid of that contingency. That is a conforming guideline that we had jumbo pick up for us. The VA and FHA will not play with that. That's why we're not doing that. Departing residents or incoming residents is a second home or investment property. The transaction is not eligible. Back to the rule. Okay. The property, SFRs, townhomes, condos, less than 5 acres, must have access to public roads and utilities. Yes, wells and septic are going to be acceptable, as long as they be conforming, standards of the area. Must be zoned as residential, not a 55 plus. Again, this property that's being sold, it's their house. They're not subject to any leases, including tenancy, oil, gas, mineral rights. So that people out in Western Pennsylvania are having a fit with it. You find out mineral rights out in Pittsburgh area 150 years after they put it on. So incoming residents must have a certificate of occupancy for the new construction, no active foreclosure or bankruptcies. The house has to be in good order. No ongoing renovations. In fact, if you want to sell a house, you don't have a bunch of stuff going on in there, right? Affecting bathroom, kitchen, drywall, landscaping. No major defects in or ongoing repairs or upgrades to foundation, framing, roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, fireplace and chimney, and they want to know the property's not selling 90 days. That's the conversation they have with you. They do the AVM, they know the area. That decision's being made. Unless you're in Philadelphia proper, every house is turned over 90 days, right? I'll talk about that next time. We wrap it up. What does the program cost? 2.4% of the fair market sale of the home. Remember, there could be 2 sales, only happen one time and thousands of transactions, the one, right? The backup offer. But for the most part, we're talking about the fair market sale of the home. In that case, it was 500 grand, so that ended up being 12 grand. It does seem like a lot of money. I get that. But in reality, bridge loans, the ability to actually get in the house, the risk being taken on this, that's a bargain. I'm telling you, that's an amazing, amazing number. How does the equity unlock work? A 0% bridge loan to use as down payment on the new purchase. How do you determine the 90-day backup? Remember the 75% number with the first mortgage and then the bridge? Loan payoff value is the mortgage balance plus the equity unlock amount, bridge. And what if HomeLink purchases the home, which is what I was saying, one and how many? Upside protection, client receives the excess funds that HomeLink needs to purchase the home. It is contractual. And what if my home is already listed? Good. Okay. We're gonna get that thing sold. It's shining. Beautiful. If anybody has questions, this gentleman right here has a hotline to me at any time, but he actually knows more than I do. I just like to hear the sound of my own voice. I'm gonna turn this over to Tom, but if you have any questions, I'm right here. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. So one of the other things I find really amazing about this program is how many times you have someone who's looking to sell their house, but they don't want to be inconvenienced with having to put the dogs away, having to clean up after the kids. This is again, another option for them that they can actually wait until after they buy and settle into their new home before they list their existing property with you. And then you can properly stage the home the way that's going to help them sell that home as quickly as possible. And they can do it again without having the interruptions anymore. We run into that all the time, I think, with a lot of people that are. I had this example last week. I was at an open house, and there were these people that came in with their kids, and they let their kids run around the entire house. Well, here the kids start jumping down, up and down on people's beds, and things like that. Obviously, it's an issue. It did become an issue on this because even though we said, hey, you got to get your kids doing this, guess what most people have in their homes? They have cameras everywhere through the houses nowadays. They have to see these kids running around their house, causing all this chaos, and it became an issue. So, there's lots of different. This is just another tool in your arsenal, and that's the way I look at it. So many different applications can be done. Whether again, we can even, let's say they own their home free and clear. Again, they don't want to go contingent. They need that money in order to purchase the next home. This solution for this program. They can use the bridge loan, like Brian said, to make a cash purchase on that next home. One of the things I love about this program, and Steve will tell you, I think there when it comes to pre-approvals. I don't like pre-approvals. There's three types of approvals. There's pre-qualifications, there's pre-approvals, and then there's credit approvals. Pre-quals and pre-approvals to me are kind of worthless. Credit approval is an approval done by an underwriter. Underwriter that is going to verify they've looked at the pay stubs, they've calculated the income credit, not the LO's calculation of the pay stubs, but an actual underwriting calculation. They verified the assets. Everything about that loan is ready to go with the exception of an appraisal and the title. Well, this program is no different. So these people that qualify for this program, they have to go through the underwriting. Their pay stubs are verified, their assets are verified. Everything is done up front to make this a very, very smooth transaction.
It takes about a week.
Yeah, it does take, because there is a little bit more involved with this, especially when we're doing the ABM, we're taking the photos. This is a little bit more involved. But in the end, this is how we get referrals, guys. The more seamless your transactions are, the more likely these people are going to come back to you and say, hey, working with Steve, I'm sorry, Steve, you're the only one I have a day before, so I'm going to keep picking me out. Working with Steve was the best. People talk all the time. Whether it was good, bad, they're going to talk. We want to have positive reviews for you guys. And that's the kind of the way we operate. Do you have any questions? Or yeah.
I got a question. With this program, would there be a problem with the homeowner staying in their existing home while they purchase a new home to do some renovations?
No, they can't do that.
They
So
can't.
you can't do renovations on the existing home.
No, I'm talking about the new home that they purchased.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a problem with that.
No,
Remember,
no.
the issue was if they had tenants. If it's them in the house, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Actually, that's a really good example. I never thought of that. That's an
Yeah,
excellent.
because sometimes, with a program like that, it would be very good for the homeowner to stay in their home and say if they need a new kitchen, updated kitchen, and stuff like that,
Now, remember, there's 90 days that they have to sell the property, right?
Right.
Now, obviously, the longer it goes, the more time you have to do that. But the minute that property's purchased, it actually does belong. And again, if that's a backup offer, one time in thousands.
Right.
But if that did occur, that the new owners would actually be homeowners.
Okay.
But we're talking 3 months. You gotta be doing some freaking great stuff to that house if it takes that long.
Yeah.
That was an excellent question.
Okay.
You want a house that's in really good condition for the most part, for when it's being sold.
Yeah, so what they're checking to make sure is that it doesn't need a new roof, the foundations, the bones are good.
So-
Listen, if there's little stupid stuff, they're not. looking for it.
We're outside of Trenton, Norwood, parts of Hamilton. You can get a CO when you have mountain to water. It's not true, as the CO is considered safe, but it's an old form of water. When you guys, it's probably not mountain to water.
So generally, the way lenders look at it is when they have an appraisal done, they're gonna see that there are other homes in the area that also have Novel 2 wiring. If there's other comps that have Novel 2 wiring, generally that's never an issue.
The only reason I'm asking, I've never had an appraiser ask me how comps that I've sold if the house had mountain to water.
I've run into it several years ago in the town of Iowa, where we did actually have a house that had the Novel 2, but they were able to make it happen. I will ask.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, because I know certain states.
I'm from Vineland, Nobbin 2's an upgrade.
Well, this though, but you're not gonna have an appraisal, there's gonna be a home inspection.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing,
It's
a
gonna
home
be
ins- but it's still gonna
value.
show up on a home inspection.
Right,
Yeah,
depending
yeah.
how extensive your home inspection is.
Yeah, we're not looking to flip the new house, like, they're not looking to go in and do $100,000 worth of work in that house.
Right,
because
right.
it sells.
Right. But you want to invest in something that, you know, if you have to take it over, you can sell it.
Yes. I would guess it's like probably more for like if there's like obvious problems, like if they open up the panel and it's black and it's burned and
Yeah.
there's no electricity or there's water, wires.
Well, there'll be a home
Hanging out.
inspector, no, home inspector,
Yeah,
depending
they'll
on how
call
good
out,
he
like,
is,
if
right,
it's-
but you know.
Yeah, I guess it sounds like you want the house to be operational, is that?
No major repairs, again, little things is one thing,
Yeah.
like, you have a small hole in the wall, they're not
Yeah,
looking at
that's-
So I used the word, I remember that was 75 to 80, so forget the 80, it's only 75, it's up to 75. So it could come in at 69, 70, 71, depending upon the condition of the house and anything that needs to be done to it. So they're gonna take that into account, and there might be taken into account the fact that that's how much of the CLTV they're willing to utilize.
Thank you.
You know what I thought was a great piece to this loan too, that wasn't in there, is if you have someone's house under a listing and you're trying to sell it and they want to make the new offer without a contingency, and they do, if the house sells and you never need the bridge loan, the 2.4% is never charged. So it's not a charge if they don't use the money.
I call it utilization of value. It's my term, my guys, I'm gonna copyright it. They know that I use it. So utilization of value. You got two main pieces of value here. What? One is the bridge loan. Usually you're getting charged, right? Makes sense. The other one is removing the pity, removing the payment from the debt ratio. You don't want to pay? Fine. They take that out, the DTI blows up, all the wheels fly off, you don't have a loan. So if you're going to utilize either one of those two options, you're going to get charged. By the way, if you use both, I mean, that's the way this is designed. You can have the pity removal and you can get the bridge, do one or the other. When would you not have that charge? Practice is to not charge it when you say you got a cash buyer out of nowhere, right? You got the house, you're getting this thing going, and all of a sudden somebody buys your house for cash. All of a sudden I don't need the bridge, I don't need the pity removal, I'm good, I got my money, we're done.
And you got the new house because you're offering.
We're done, it's already over. So no, that's what they don't. So it's not like you sign here, gotcha. We're not playing gotcha, we're playing, let's get a new house. By the way, you are,
in my new house.
you're already in the new house. We got you there, you won. Got happy clients, get the listing agents, your best friend, you're all going out together and having drinks, it's awesome.
And I think that's huge because other programs that are similar to this, once you move into a new house, if something falls apart, what do? They rent you back the new house. And then you have so many months to fix whatever falls to the qualification issue. Or guess what? They're selling the house out from underneath. And then you're stuck renting. So you don't have to worry about that with this program. Once they own that new house, that's it. It's done. There's no rent backs. The money from the bridge loan can also be used in many different ways. So it can be used for down payment, it can be used for closing costs, it can also be used to pay off debts to help you qualify for your next house. It's not just the principal and interest, remember, they get credit cards, they get car payments, there can be all sorts of different things that are causing an issue with them qualifying for that next house. You can pretty much do everything except home improvements on departed residents with this bridge fund.
The bridge money will become available upon CTC of the house you're buying. Through the loan stores, mortgage, of course. But when you have the CTC, the money will be wired directly to the title company. That's a good thing, not a bad thing, because God forbid something happens with that purchase. It has happened to me, not by my family, but it's happened. God forbid something happens, you're not able to sell that property, you go out and you go blow it on whatever you're doing, now you got a problem. Right now, we're suing you. That's not gonna happen. We're going right to the title company, on the CTC, and transactionally, are gonna take place, everything on that CD. And if the transaction doesn't take place, they take it back, and you're still whole in your home.
And again, as long as no transaction takes place, there's no charges to them. Not paying for the AVM, not paying for the inspection, they're not paying the 2.4%.
Oh, we want them to pay it because it's a good thing, because we got them.
They're
They're
They're in
home.
our own.
So we want this. This is such a great tool to get that done.
So what do you guys think? Any other questions, any comments, thoughts?
Just thinking the one objective you might get, but I guess you can tie it back to, if you want to say it like that. So when you're doing commissions, right, let's say 2.5 each side, so that's 5%, then you got to pay the 2.4. Would you then tell them the home equity lock that they're going to get for the down payment is almost like, not like, I don't want to say free money, but it kind of is like they don't have to front that money for down payment.
No, well,
I guess just to handle that type of objective. I got to pay all these commissions and I got to pay this, it's like.
so again, they're not gonna have to worry about paying any additional fees monthly. This is the only bridge loan of its kind that has no monthly payment normally. Again, if you take a bridge loan out, you're gonna buy that next house, guess what? Now they're looking at your first mortgage, and now they're looking at a bridge loan as well.
Right.
With this, neither one is like that.
How many people are bidding up houses to more than 2%? So you
Right.
can come in stronger, you don't have to.
And I
you don't
get
have to
it.
do that.
It's money, right?
Yeah.
Money's money.
Mhm.
But that house just appreciated 25% over the last 24 to 30 months. It was paper gain. We're gonna now, obviously, that becomes real money, but it wasn't. You know why? Because you didn't have your house, which we just arranged for you to get. Now you're actually in it. Your paper gain becomes realization because we're able to do this for you. If you didn't have that, all right, it's fine. You didn't like that amount of money, you didn't have it. It wasn't there for you. Nobody buys bread with rate or cost. They buy it with money. And that's what we're making available to them. They're actually going to be able to transact with a paper gain that they've had over the last 24, 30 months.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Any other questions or comments? What do you guys think?
It's good.
We have at least 70, 80 right now in process. I have two myself, one just closed. I got one going, and again, it's because of the fact that we just opened it up to the area. The guys on the West Coast and down south were utilizing it. One guy that I had finished was in Florida. One of my brokers in Florida. Pennsylvania just got one going, and that's already approved. It's already rocking and rolling. So this is, and we got a bunch of them up in the Northeast now. So this is exciting that I get to join this county. California. And I was the #1 guy at my company. I beat all those California guys. So it's not that I won, it's that I beat California. That's all that mattered to me. That's all I cared about. So that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to open this up. We're going to create that value that they have over there. We're going to do it here. There's a tremendous opportunity for all of us to unlock all this equity and make some people happy. Some actual bids that win. God, I'm so tired of people going out. I've been bidding for 6 months, 8, 9 months, 12 months. I just keep losing and they give up. They have a value. They have something they can use. Why aren't we utilizing it? $2.4 $12,000 on 500. We just got you the house you could never win. Stop focusing on a paper gain and start focusing on the realization that you are
In my house.
you're in your house. Really get pumped up about the fact that we're going to win bids. This is so cool.
Anyone else have any questions or thoughts? Any questions coming in from online?
Nothing in the chat. Vanette, Cam, thanks for being here.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for
Thank you,
your
Tom.
time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, I'm available 7 days a week. Please do not hesitate to reach out and give me a call.
All right, Tom.
Wonder if we can get a hold of them.